Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ladies of Sosa podcast. My name is Sada.
And my name is Christine.
Today, we are going to be discussing the Essence Fest controversy that recently has sparked all over the internet and the diaspora wars that has, I guess, kind of sparked up on behind the Essence Fest. I don't want to call it diaspora wars because I feel like it has like a negative connotation, but that is the truth. It did spark some diaspora xenophobia.
It was already there. I think this just heightened it and made it more intense.
Yes.
So
today we're stepping into a topic that's been lighting up timelines and shaking the tables across the diaspora. Essence Fest 2025. What was supposed to be a celebration of Black joy turned into a flashpoint for outrage, online debates, some serious soul searching about identity, culture, and who gets a seat at the table.
From technical mishaps and public critiques by legends like Stephanie Mills to TikToks and think pieces calling out the rising African presence at a festival rooted in Black American tradition, the conversation quickly moved beyond Essence and into the heart of some long-standing tensions within the diaspora.
So today, we are unpacking it all. What actually went wrong at Essence? Why are so many people divided over African inclusion? And more importantly, how do we move online wars to real-world understanding?
Right. So we got a full breakdown, history, opinions, and questions that we hope will push this conversation forward. And once again, our intention is to push the conversation forward. So we're not here to feed into the negativity
and the division.
Exactly. We're just here to see both sides of the perspective or try to understand where this is coming from. I mean, There's a boycott of African braiding shops.
Yes, there's a lot.
There's a lot of things happening. So we're just trying to gain some understanding.
Understanding and come from and approach it from a neutral place, but also with some truths. So we don't want to avoid the truths of the situation, but we also want to make sure that we're pushing the conversation forward. But without further ado, we have to introduce our lovely panel before we get into it. Let's go ahead and start with Vida.
Hey everyone, it's Vida. Happy to be here.
And then we have Calvin,
one
of the hosts of the Black Ice podcast.
Yes, Black Ice, BLVCKICE. Thank you. Oh, yeah, you think I can spell?
No.
He was just so professional. I'm not used to calling people. Hey, y'all. This is Jen here. Happy to be here and happy to dive into today's conversation.
And then we have Tyrick.
Arnabe.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot your government name out there. My bad. Uh-huh.
We can't get blasted out these days. But yes, I am the host of the No Podcast. I have no podcast. So I don't host any podcast.
Mm-hmm. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, so let's go ahead.
I was like, when did Tyrick get a podcast?
I know.
Uh-huh.
It's coming soon. I think I'm about to do a podcast about Power BI, and
it's going to be called No Podcast. I think I like that.
That's actually a good name.
That's actually
name.
Cute. Yeah.
See the genius of me.
I like it. It's like a double entry because it's like no more podcasts, but
then
you're
it's
also
like having a podcast.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Nobody's
thinking.
still that.
You
better get on it because
no, he wasn't. Okay, but let's go ahead and get into it. And I guess maybe we should unpack it from the inception of how this conversation even started.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, we can get into Essence Fest and like why this matters. Essence Fest is its history is a celebration of Black American culture in New Orleans. So
say New Orleans.
New Orleans, okay.
That just made my ears.
My bad. In New Orleans. So Calvin, like I know that you probably have a lot of thoughts and opinions. I don't want to follow the outline and make it so structured. I wanted the conversation should just flow.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you as a Black American, you obviously know more about Essence Fest. So I want to give you the floor to kind of talk about it briefly and let people know like kind of what it is and its importance in the Black community and why I guess some of this outrage has come about recently.
Okay, so like Essence Fest, or just Essence, period, because it was a magazine as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Essence is like up there with like our Jet,
Source,
Ebony,
yeah.
Source,
Mm-hmm.
like all those are like
Mm-hmm.
Black American magazines and like your Jet Beauty of the Weeks and all that. So that was something that was just really engulfed in Black American culture. So I think the first Essence Fest was in '95 or whatnot. So it's pretty much like a Black American family reunion. Is how I can describe it and the vibe of it. And really for, I wouldn't say my generation, I would say like Gen X, maybe some older millennials, and baby boomers like my pops in them age. And so like the aunties, uncles, all of them go out there to Essence and where they all white or linen, whatever. They gonna go see Frank and Beverly. Like that's the whole ordeal. Everybody going to New Orleans to eat good food and all that stuff. So I've been hearing probably like the last 3-4 years that Essence has been kind of going on a decline, and this year just finally just exploded or came to a head. So
So a lot
it
of
was
people
just shocking.
claim that the festival is shifting away from its original purpose, and I feel like this past year people said it was like the worst one so far. I know you've seen a lot of the outrage online because you actually hit me up, and I had already been seeing it on X, but you hit me up and you're like, hey, do you see what's going on? Like, we should talk about it, whatever.
Right.
So you saw a lot of the comments, a lot of creators, Black American creators came out and were making a lot of videos.
And I'm sorry, hold on. Not only did I saw it like on the comments, like my fiance is born and raised in New Orleans, and she was working at Essence Festival. So I kind of had like like I was asking her, like, are you really seeing this? Because the internet could be capping.
Yeah.
So I was really asking. She was just like, no, it's
It was bad.
That's
it was
crazy.
bad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that was my question too, because when I was kind of looking into it for the sake of this conversation, I was like, is this something that people people create narratives, especially on TikTok, because division is it creates conversation, it's entertaining, and it's you can get monetary privileges from being divisive. So I'm like, is this something that is actually can you actually see it in the Essence Fest, or is this something that people that didn't even attend are trying to make a big issue of? So that's why I was trying to decipher what's truth and what's real and what's true.
Well, I think people's feelings on the social media, I think all this just really got on social media. I think these tensions has been here for decades.
Yeah.
So people, like I was seeing people or hearing from people that weren't even on the internet with those talking points having the same similar talking points as far as people on the internet. So I can tell it wasn't no, some people be like, oh, they CIA or some bullshit like that.
Right.
Like, no. Like, this was really like real feelings.
Yeah.
And it just went too far. Like, Essence is like, you don't mess with Essence.
So go ahead.
Can you because I feel like we're talking about there being a potential decline or people saying there is a decline. What does that look like for someone? I've never been to Essence before, but like, what is the decline? What was it before and what is it now?
I would say far as like attendance, structure,
Organization.
Yeah, organization structure. Yeah. I don't think that would be like the main thing. Yeah, the partnerships. And a lot of people was getting mad that I guess one of the big partners was Target, and we supposed to be quote unquote boycotting them.
Yeah.
But it's just like, well, shit, where you gonna get your money from?
Right.
You gonna get it from Walmart?
Yeah, and then there's production issues. That's something that we put on our outline. Production issues, complaints from attendees about poor logistics and disorganization.
And not using local black business. Yeah. That really hurt the city. Because New Orleans looked forward to, like, it's Mardi Gras, Essence, and then they have a lot of different festivals, like crawfish festivals, fried chicken. Man, shit.
I love it. No, and
they basically were saying that this year's Essence Fest was like sidelining Black American culture in favor of the broader Pan-Africanism, inclusion. So that's what we're here to talk about today. Like,
yeah,
I just feel like it was just not the right time and place to do that. I don't think you'll do that at Carnival, and bring in some like Black American culture. You don't hear no hip hop at Carnival.
So what were they playing? The Vito?
No, I think he did perform.
Essence was bought also by an African woman as well.
And I think that's what
I know that was a lot of the
and you know what? Let me say this too.
Yeah.
And I mean, I won't say I hate to say it. The truth is the truth. I don't know who owned it first. I mean, I think it was some white people owned Essence before, and then they sold it to. So I would say like, well, we should have bought Essence, or we should have never sold it, or whatnot. Yeah, but then it's just like, okay, I feel like if you're trying to get into somebody's culture, just respect it. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have too much of a problem of an African or someone from Africa buying Essence or like being a CEO, but don't veer off from your target audience or whatnot.
I do agree with that because I was like, if I go to I've never been to an Essence festival. I've dated
Me either. I've always wanted to go though.
From New Orleans, so she knows more about it. But if I go to a jazz festival,
I don't
want to hear no Afro beats. I want to hear jazz. If I go to an Afrobeat festival, it's like, I don't want to hear Jay-Z. I want to hear Afrobeat.
And so that's all they were saying.
Yeah, if it's celebrating Black culture in New Orleans, I think that's what they celebrate: New Orleans culture and Black culture,
which is Black American culture.
Yeah, Black American. Yeah, so I don't want to hear DeVito on stage.
Because think about this: you coming from like, let's just say Seattle, Washington. You the major plan. I'm going to Essence in July. I'm ready to go eat some jambalaya, gumbo, see all the seafood and stuff. And then here they come talking about, we got some jollof. Boy, what?
That's crazy.
I want some jollof right now. Now, I'm just saying, nigga ain't thinking about no jollof right now in New Orleans.
Yeah. Right. That's true.
And so, and that was another controversy that I didn't even know about. Christine told me that there was like a competition, like an event. It wasn't, I don't know if it was actually by the organizers of Essence, but it was like part of the weekend where they had the jollof versus jambalaya contest.
Yeah, and if you was trying to be like, we not divisive, that right there.
See, we Africans are doing
jollof
too much.
versus.
I think that was a
little bit
comes a point.
And I think it was just,
we're doing too much now.
Well, I think it was tone deaf. I think if they could have just said jollof and jambalaya, maybe that would have been better. But it was like the verse. It was a versus.
When you put verses, you're feeding right into the diaspora.
Yeah. Right. It was like that.
So
was
you can't get mad at the reaction that like, what you mean? And then jollof was big and jambalaya about that big.
We will share the actual.
You're not about the little boy us. No.
Yeah.
Is disrespecting our culture because y'all don't even like us. Y'all have absolutely no respect for Americans. When we wanted to be African, y'all reminded us over and over again how we're not as good as y'all. We don't know where we come from. We have a white man's last name. We're ratchet. We're ghetto. So let us be ratchet and ghetto in peace. If I wanted jollof rice, I'll go to an African convention. But nothing about Africa is even interesting to me. I don't want to dress like y'all. I don't want to dance to y'all music. I don't want to buy your oils or your mishwak sticks. I don't want y'all jealousy braiding my hair, throwing curses into my scalp. This is America. I'd much rather learn slave history. Because at Essence Fest, we should be having a battle over the best fried chicken and macaroni and cheese. I don't know. So just like you're proud of female circumcision, we're proud of hip hop.
So I mean, I don't have a problem with how people felt for us like reacting to it because like, yeah, man, like that's like me going to somebody else's house and trying to dictate some shit.
Right.
Like,
so I guess my thing when I was looking into it, I was expecting like a complete erasure of like Black American culture in the Essence Fest, but I didn't like see the I didn't really see that. Like I still saw a lot of like Black American influence. I will say, I mean, I can say that, there were hints of like West African culture being infiltrated.
It shouldn't be there.
Right. But I thought it was going to be like a complete shift.
But that's how it starts though.
Mm-hmm. It started with a little bit.
Yeah, it starts by a little bit, then it just grows each year.
Like you invite this one person to the cookout, then here they be like, hey, bro, I'm over here.
They
bring the party. Y'all come through too.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, well, who invited y'all?
Right. So I mean, I do understand it. I do think that we should keep things like if it's going to be Black American, keep it Black American. If it's going to be West African, keep it. If it's going to be East, I feel like that's the same thing. If I go to a cultural event for South Sudanese people, I want to eat South Sudanese food. I don't like when I see South Sudanese people making like pasta unless it's like the South Sudanese. I want to eat like the actual food from our culture. But I do think that this conversation kind of shifted into like a lot of xenophobia.
Yeah, and I want to push back on before we get into the xenophobia. Well, maybe it can merge in, but I don't think that things are as clear, like the lines that like South Sudanese culture. Like I feel like in real life, it's not as clearly drawn as we make it seem. Like I can go to like last night, I went to a cocktail making class, and across there was like a place where I can get a bar, where we can get food. There was Afrobeats playing. There was no jollof in sight, But I feel like the merging of cultures kind of shows where we are. I mean, of course, there is still diaspora wars, there's still xenophobia, but I think there's a lot like 10, 20 years ago, like the level of awareness for Afrobeats or African culture is not the same as it is today. And so I feel like it's beautiful that we're able to enter spaces and we're able to experience, like I might walk into a space and they might have, all these beautiful cultures being represented in the music or the food. And I do think there's a way you can do that without being dominated. And I'm not sure, like, if at Essence Fest it was a dominating presence of Africa, because some people, they do have a low tolerance for Africanness, period. I remember when I was in college, the DJ, he would play some Afro beats and some people would like make a stank face, and I'm like, oh, like you see it sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, and that's everyone's preference for certain things. Or even like, I think just where we are as a culture, like you expect, like certain sounds might come up and you enjoy all of it because that's where we are as a culture. So I wanted to push back on that.
I will say that we have y'all. I want to say y'all did, like you said, 10, 20 years ago, like the African, I guess, presence or whatever has grew. And I'm proud of y'all of that because, like you said, 10, 20 years ago, when we was like high school.
It's weird.
Well, I want to say weird, just, I don't think the Africans in America was as proud as they are now. Hiding it. I don't want to say hiding, like more suppressing it.
It wasn't as cool as it is.
It's not cool.
I think it was as a result of it not being cool or like the theme. Like you tried to suppress that because you just didn't want to get bullied. Like you didn't want to get talked about. You didn't want to get called out. You just wanted to blend in, fit in, just, you know.
And I think there's a shift too within like Black people all over the diaspora where a lot of people are shifting more towards Pan-Africanism and all Black people everywhere working together and understanding each other's cultures.
Right.
And so I think that may be where like African culture is infiltrating Essence, and it's not necessarily intentional. And I feel like the conversation, the way people were shifting the conversation is like, these people are the organizers are trying to erase Black American culture. And I don't know, I feel like we should all give each other grace, because I don't know if that is the angle that they were taking. And I mean, give them criticism if you want to provide criticism.
Do you not think we've been giving them grace?
I want to pose, based off of that statement, a question to the panel as well that'll all fit in. So based on that, do you think Pan-African inclusion is expanding or diluting cultural spaces? Because obviously we have the intention of like, okay, Pan-Africanism, we're all, Black, even though we have different lived experiences, let's just all come together and we just sweep it over the blanket of like us just all being Black. Do you think that is diluting it, or is it like helping to expand it?
I think we're just learning how to do it. It's like a new phenomenon for us to actually like embrace each other. I think Pan-Africanism is a fairly new concept. So we're really learning how to do it. And we may get it wrong in some areas, like the jollof rice versus jambalaya. Like, that may have been a mishap, but I think they were probably trying to be inclusive. Yeah. And it just, probably read the room a little bit during these times of like the diaspora wars. But there's ways that we can do it. Like I said, let's do jambalaya and jollof. And like we can have all of them.
No jollof.
Okay, so that's the thing. We're learning how to like mix cultures or get to know each other, and some people may like it and people may not. But
that's why I believe it's diluting the cultures.
Okay,
I believe that because, like I said, if I go to Carnival, I don't want to hear no rap music. I want to hear what the music they playing or what. Don't include, because now I feel like, hey, we invited, like that's like going to a cruise and they play Lil Jon and them. Like, oh, we got some rap music. Hey. Like, come on.
Have you been to Carnival?
No.
Oh, you talking about Carnival, the ship?
No, I'm talking about Carnival.
I thought you meant the Caribbean. Like
the Caribbean.
No, I would say the cruise line. No. I'm talking about Carnival.
The
like
actual Carnival.
Like they have at Carnival, whatever.
Yeah.
St. Lucia and all that.
Okay.
So like an example.
Tripped me out.
No, I ain't.
So you feel like it's diluting it by letting everyone just be inclusive. I know a lot of Black Americans specifically said all the other Africans in diaspora have their own thing, and then for like Essence or things that are for Black Americans, they feel like we're all trying to crowd into it. But like you said, we have Carnival, we have all these other things.
Yeah, because Pan-Africanism, like I said, I disagree that it's new. It's been here. It's just been one-sided, and we've been on that one side of trying to be Pan-African since the African immigrants came over here. Like, we fought for you, come over here.
Marcus Garvey's Jamaican.
He's Jamaican, but he came to America,
But he was Pan-African.
Yeah, but his message didn't really get out until he came to America. Jamaicans wasn't fucking with his message.
All right.
Janet, I know you.
Okay.
I did. Well, yes. But going back to the point, I can understand what everyone is talking about, but specifically if I go somewhere that has for years, this is what the like presence of the event has been, it should stay that way. But I do have a question because over the years, especially since COVID, we know that took effect on a lot of events in general. But as you mentioned, Calvin, like your family members, the previous generations being excited, planning for Essence Fest, like this is a big thing in the community. Do you feel like this generation like doesn't appreciate Essence Fest for what it is now? Like there's not that huge, like we're gonna plan to go to, like for example, like New York Fashion Week. Like does it not have that same? Like,
I think it do amongst our generation, like millennials, and now you got the what's that Gen Z?
Gen Z.
So like I said, we grew up watching them going. So like we was like, man, I can't wait till I reach auntie and uncle status so I can go to Essence Fest and wear my all white. You know, it's like a rite of passage kind of thing. Yeah. Of a celebration.
So do you feel like we're here? Like, I mean, I feel like everybody's kind of been like close to auntie, uncles.
Yeah, true. I wanted to go, and what I was pissed about really about Essence, really. Damn the jollof rice and all that, but they didn't even honor a staple of Essence Fest, and that was Frankie Beverly featuring
Frankie
Maze.
Beverly.
He was there every year, and the connection that they have, that band and him have with the city of New Orleans. Like when he passed away, I don't know if y'all saw like the huge second line they had, and everybody wore all white. Like even at my campus, at my school, like all the teachers wore all white. Like that's just a cultural icon, and you don't even mention him. It just shows like the lack of culture and acknowledgement.
The disconnect. The disconnect.
And I don't know who's part of the planning, but if your name on that list as the leader, you gonna take the hit for it. The quarterback didn't get, you know,
and
probably didn't let the defense
wanna,
score. But
I do want to add, because I definitely understand the backlash that's going on social media. I also do feel like there needs to be accountability for the logistic part, because when planning an event, like that is a huge responsibility to make sure that, especially Essence Fest, Jesus Christ, it's a champagne. Twister. I don't know why it's coming, but Essence Fest being around, I know. Essence Fest being around for so long, like there should be a system in place at this point. Like y'all know what the days need to look like. Even if vendors change, like this is not just a, you know, out of the whim type of event. This has been going on for so many years. So I think there does need to be accountability for the lack of like partnerships or sponsors or just presence of, you know, the Black businesses in New Orleans being there, just as there is backlash on the attendance and production issues and how people feel about their actual experience at Essence.
Right. Yeah.
How do you guys feel like the Black diaspora can participate with Essence Fest and still keep Black American culture at the forefront? Because I don't think the argument is whether other Black people should be part of it or
What y'all do when y'all listen to rap music? You just sit there and listen, right? That's it. You ain't got to add in nothing. You just sit there and enjoy the culture and enjoy it. That's all you got to do.
So with
because like we go to carnival, I'm not about going there. Well, why y'all got all these different feathers and beads and showing your ass and all that?
But do you think that being, because the guy who owns it is, I don't think he's African. I think the director.
He's Liberian.
The festival is African.
Well, that's in Africa, ain't it? Liberia.
No, the director, the owners. I think the owners of Solomon Group. I think the owners. I think
Mr. Dennis guy.
Yeah, but
he's the CEO. No, the owner.
But I think what it is like, is he like the scapegoat of what's going on as far as like the technical issues, et cetera, et cetera? Because if you look at Red Lobster, when they rolled out, their CEO is Nigerian, and he rolled out with fanfare, bringing in. I don't eat crabs.
No. Thank you for bringing that up. See, that's a perfect example of someone being in the diaspora, and he turned Red Lobster around. Phenomenal job. I can't think of his name, but man, you're doing a good job, man. But like he understands the assignment. You know what I'm saying? So that's a perfect example, Tyler. That's like he's doing his thing with the Red Lobster. Hell, it made me go to Red Lobster. I ain't been to Red Lobster in years.
Oh, you been to Red Lobster?
Man, I went.
Was
to Red
it
Lobster.
actually that?
Man,
I don't know because I don't eat shellfish. I don't eat none of those. I don't eat crab boils.
If Red Lobster bring crawfish, it's over.
Crawfish like is so disgusting. I don't know how people eat it.
Oh man, you be all right.
His name is the owner of Red Lobster. The new owner is Damola. Oh Lord,
have a problem.
Ademolekan. Damola Ademolekan. Maybe you have a better better luck on this one. I didn't know he was Nigerian.
Yeah. No, that
Yeah,
made the
yeah.
shade room.
35.
So shout out to the owner of Red Lobster. Okay. So I guess the way we could properly address issues within diaspora or be a part of something altogether, because I don't think the issue is the black diaspora being a part of it. It's just how, like, just the erasure part, or feeling like there is an erasure.
You ain't got to put your culture into it.
Right.
We already got a culture set for it. All you got to do is sit back and chill.
Yeah,
That's basically
I
what
think
it is.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Because when I go to a Vibes Cartel festival, I'm here in dance hall. That's why I'm there.
You don't
for.
see the NBA owners out there on the court
I don't wanna
hooping with
see-
them.
I don't want to hear Coldplay
Yeah.
coming in like, let's bring all white people together.
Right.
Let's listen.
No.
Keep it, because the essence it is, by definition, is like the intrinsic value of something. So that intrinsic value is that black culture. So keep it black, and it's also, I want to say, Southern black culture, right? It's not.
Yeah, because that's where everybody black American roots
so
are
it's
from.
Southern
It's
black
from the
culture.
I
South.
thought it was specifically New Orleans.
Yeah.
I think New Orleans is Mardi
New
Gras,
Orleans
right?
just New Orleans culture is like you said, it's more
More open, because it's like a lot
not
of people.
open. I'm trying to use the word
Cajun?
right. No. Like
Oh.
there's more of like Mardi Gras. That's
Yeah,
New
it's
Orleans
Mardi Gras.
culture.
It's
Right.
so many.
Now they use like New Orleans is like another hub for a lot of black people, like Atlanta, Dallas, Houston, Nashville, Memphis. So they just pick New Orleans as a city. And then New Orleans just lit. I don't know if y'all
I love
been.
New Orleans. Oh, I love New Orleans.
I love the people there. I mean, obviously that's why I picked one out of there. But you know, shit,
I love it.
their food and their culture
The food.
is, whew, it's different. It's different. I love it. So, it just yeah, man, just sit back and enjoy it. That's all. You ain't gotta man nothing. You can really just let it run smoothly. Now, if you continue going the path they going, I think Essence gonna go bankrupt until maybe a Black American, somebody else like, let's start something new. And it might be somewhere in Houston somewhere. Now Essence is that's just bad business what you're doing at this point. So if you listen to your consumer, I think you'll be all right.
There were a lot of African American influencers or attendees that had a lot of good things to say about Essence Fest. So I do want to keep the conversation balanced and not make it seem like everybody had a bad experience.
I was invited to the Essence Fest for the first time, and Target sponsored the trip and the event, but the invite came personally from the Senior Director of Partnerships, Pamela Brown, who told me that my voice was important and needed and gave me a seat at the table. I didn't know what that meant then, but I do know what it means now. The event highlighted and celebrated Black women in business, specifically in the beauty space. I got to speak with Courtney Adeleye and Janelle Stevens, two women with major Black-owned, women-led brands that let me know that success is possible, but won't come without a struggle, so giving up just isn't an option. My favorite part was seeing all the Black women that love and support me and connecting with new creators, but
Africans ruin Essence Fest. You would think you walked around and you just heard Jerusalem, Ikayanami, he no gonna say no. You would think you walked around and everybody was like, baby, come down. That's not what happened. Every corner you turned, you heard wedding fans, which is traditionally African American jubilation song. Let me tell you something. When it comes to diaspora wars, I do believe Africans be lying. But even more, African Americans be lying as well. Because everybody wants to drive their own narrative. So people make up stuff and say whatever they can to sell the point across. Sometimes, most of the time, it ain't true. Not even sometimes. What am I talking about? Like, oh, African Americans ain't got no culture. Oh, Africans trying to take over our spaces. Not the case. If Africans were to be present at your festival, trust me, you will know. There will be the smell of suya in the air. Uncles all around the area. Burna Boy and Davido would have been a headliner. It would have been insane. I was there, and my experience was once again enjoying and celebrating and reveling in all the beauty that is Black American culture. The food, the dances, the music. I never for one second thought, man, Africans finally took us over. Never. A festival that starts to decline, and rather than us talk about the logistics or things that we could do to make things better, technicalities, where did we go wrong? You know, was it sponsorships? Was it the economy? Was it the rollback on DEI programs? None of that. The first thing we could think of, an African bought it. And no offense to Rich, but if you've ever heard Richard Ludennis talk, he's not even the African that you're thinking about. He's He's for the most part a lot more American than he is. Like, he's not like, you know, like the way you described it, you made it sound like Patrice Lumumba. Somebody with that kind of name came and took over your business, just came straight from the continent and took over. That's not what happened. And we're not even, and up until now, for the most part, these are the people that have organized Essence Fest. This is what they look like. I don't think anybody has had any complaints for the most part. I don't think it was divisive when they were in control. I don't think there was any narratives being told. But for some reason, when anything seems to go wrong, we start to point fingers and look at each other and start to blame ourselves. And I hate to say this, and those of you who know, those Africans who know, guess what? Africans do this for their own festivals too. When it comes to Afrochella, when it comes to Afrofuture, now the current name, people will make all this commentary about what Afrofuture is and what it isn't. Rather than celebrating the progress of such a undertaking of such a great venture in the diaspora, rather than complimenting it, the first thing we do is break it down and criticize a people that are doing more with less. A people that are doing more with less on both sides. And the first thing we can think is this is the time to be over analytical and critical. Listen, I'm all for being over analytical and critical. I love it when it comes to film, when it comes to art, because I think artistic integrity is important. It is important for us to be to have integrity every single time we put our voice out there, we put paint to paper, and every time we sing, we create or convey a message. In this particular case, though, for a festival that's an experience that's bringing people together, that is not the time or the place. I'm just saying. Nobody took over anything. Nobody was planning to take over anything, and nobody was trying to do evil in anything. They were trying their best with the little that they had. Anybody that you know that is in any way in the back end of this operation tried their best. The last minute rollout of the main act could not possibly have been blamed on one woman who happens to be the CEO. Because for some reason, all of this protect black women went out the window as soon as this whole Africans ruined Essence Fest.
But this is just kind of like the unpacking of the conversation surrounding it. But I
think the elephant in the room is also, you see the way we kind of just had this conversation. It was very respectful. It was very much level-headed. We're trying to understand each other and be respectful of one another. Mm-hmm. A lot of the videos and reactions that came out were very xenophobic. A lot of the stuff I was seeing, it was like taking me back because it was really hateful. I understand the logistical issues and how the maybe the festival was not carried out the way that it should have been, and there's maybe the jollof rice versus jambalaya, all those things. Yeah. But I feel like it took a turn because of the tension that has already been online with the Diaspora Wars. I feel like this just exasperated it. And then the videos that I was seeing, it was like basically denouncing African culture to where it was bad. Like watching it, it really hurt my feelings. It hurt me because I was just like, okay, I understand. Maybe we can come to some sort of understanding. But when you take it low like that, I'm seeing it sparking people to say hateful stuff back about Black Americans and calling like, okay, well, you're a slave and you're whatever. Y'all don't have clean water or food. Y'all have nothing. Like, go back to your country. So it was just getting very crazy.
It's just like drunk people. The truth gonna come out when you mad or drunk. So, I mean, on both sides. If that's how you feel, that's how you really, when you mad, you gonna, some truth gonna come out on that. And I'm not saying it's right or whatnot, but it's just like.
But it was specifically I hate to even bring it up, but the Tariq Nasheed and the FBA identified group, especially on X and like on TikTok, that this just was another like, you know, wood added to the fire of like their cause of like, okay, and they messed up Essence Fest. This is why we need to.
Well, I think too, because ourselves. It's the whole delineation movement, this FBA and all that. One is just to identifying our culture or whatnot, you know. And then, like I said previous about the Pan-Africanism, like when Black diaspora, people from the diaspora, Black diaspora was coming over here, like we was the first one saying like, you know, we all Black. And then you'll get a pushback like, no, I'm Nigerian, or I'm Jamaican. So now it's just kind of like, all right, well, you right, you Jamaican, you Nigerian, we Black American.
Back on that, I feel like there was pushback on both sides too.
No, I feel like it was way one-sided with now you might have your few that like want the Pan-Africanism, but for the past 40, 30 years, no. And it's crazy because even our elders are saying something about it now. Stephanie Mills.
Yeah.
That's what made me like, oh damn, like shit, she see it? Joe Budden see it? Well, I'm not calling him an elder, but he's older than us.
He is an elder.
Not really.
Joe Budden, the rapper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he got his podcast.
He's now intellectual. That's kind of.
No. I mean, just and they have a Caribbean person on there. I can't think of his name. He be doing all the crazy stuff.
I think a lot of it is just a loud minority.
My
None of this
favorite
actually
is
happens in real life. It's just people on podcasts.
Mark
Lamont.
And he's a proponent for reparation. I feel like this whole delineation thing is so like. Let me give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
With the whole like, I guess what some people have a problem with someone from the diaspora being a representation of Black culture or Black Americans. So I think I probably getting her name wrong, but Representative Yvette something. She's Brooklyn House of Representative, and she's the chairman of the Black Caucus. So the Black Caucus is in Congress or whatever. You're supposed to be fighting for. What do you think? Black issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you go on the Black Caucus main page, they first, like in their mission statement or whatever, their main fight is for immigration. Because she's I think Jamaican, first generation Jamaican.
Her name is Yvette Clarke.
Yvette Clarke, yes.
Yeah.
So that right there is just like, well, damn. If you want to do something for immigrants, that's fine. Do it in the immigration caucus. Don't use Black Caucus to fight for immigration, because now that don't work for us. We're not immigrants. You know what I'm saying? So with that, you see a lot of that politically. So now you're just trying to delineate politically, culturally, everything, because now when you get reparations on the table, then you're gonna have someone of no one of our lineage trying to talk for us on our behalf, and that's just culturally not right. And you have some people that just undermine you for that. And we got people in our own culture that do that. That's why we call them coons. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So
and a lot of that politically, I don't want to bring the J word. The people who are as far as those representatives like Hakeem Jeffries, there's another guy from Brooklyn. They get most of their money from AIPAC. So those donors are the one that pushes
they
what that vision is going to be. So I think a lot of times is that it keeps us fighting amongst each other, because the immigrants that are coming in are not African immigrants. I can tell you that.
Oh, no. And she said
those
this
immigrants
recently.
are going to come from Europe. That's who they're trying to bring in.
She wants the immigrants to be in her
Ukraine.
district when they do redistricting, so they can stay in office. Because House of Representatives and whatever, those you can change those people like right then and there, because we could put the feet to their fire. I mean, their foot to their fire. I probably said that around. Shit. But we can vote you out in the next 2 years.
Right.
So you kind of got to do what we say. Not even kind of, you do have to do what we say, because you only in by popular vote. So, like, if you know this and you really don't care, you know, it's just like, bro, you got to go. Like, Miss Yvette, you know, I'm sure she's a nice lady, but she got to go. Wes Moore out of, what's his name, Maryland. I think he's the governor. Like, I think I saw something. I need to do more of my due diligence. But something about reparations, like, he really not a proponent of it. But then come to find out, I think he's, like, first or second generation immigrant. So it's just like, damn, like, you using blackface, but we're not doing no black progress.
Right. No, I understand that.
I have a question. I'm not like too fond of the FBA movement, but from what I'm hearing and just like the discussion, no,
we're not too fond of the FBA.
I just don't know too much. I don't want to speak on like their intentions, but I'm just asking you, do you feel like there's a threat to Black American culture, as in like there's a chance for it to kind of like disappear if these people aren't in power, or like these initiatives aren't being carried out?
And it's not just, let me go correct this. We're not delineating to be like, oh, we don't like Africans or Jamaicans and all that. We're delineating from everybody. We're delineating from that bullshit Black and Brown coalition. Politically, I think we should be delineating politically. We should be independently single. We shouldn't be worried about no Republican or no Democrat. Like, they should be coming to us and see what we need right now. And that's how you kind of see it right now with, like, after the election, with the whole ICE and immigration stuff. If you notice, Black Americans, like, collectively, without even having a meeting, like, hey, we're going to stay out of this. This ain't got shit to do with us. Yeah, and you see how the brown community is getting treated. And y'all kind of being protected. The black diaspora. I don't see too many ICE people running in your house. I don't know.
They are.
They are?
They are.
Well, at the level of the Latin community, I would say that. Because it's kind of hard to be like.
I think it's going to be a trickle-down effect. In a sense,
yeah,
there are Africans that have been affected.
Right. But I'm just saying, majority of it that's been on the news and stuff has been the Latin community or whatnot. Like we had a little viral clip about that. But my thing is, you've been over here 20, 30 years, and you ain't got your paperwork together. I don't know.
Yeah,
what to tell you,
I saw
dog.
that. Yeah, I saw that clip. Y'all were viral. Check out the Black Ice podcast.
Yeah, check us out. And I don't. And let me give this whole notion about FBI and how I came about to it or. Really, it origin from not Tariq Nasheed, and I followed him way before he came out with this. Like when we was in high school, he had these documentaries called Hidden Colors.
Okay.
It was Hidden Colors series 1 through 4. So they was going he was going over the Haitian Revolution. Well, he has a documentary on Haitian Revolution.
Tariq Nasheed?
Yeah, he has a whole bunch of documentaries.
He don't like
and stuff.
Tariq Nasheed.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah,
that series has got a lot of BS.
So like you got stuff like that. He had a music group. So I didn't really learn about his.
He was a pimp.
He wasn't a pimp.
He was a pimp.
Okay, well, shit.
I know about Tariq Nasheed.
He really don't like.
Somebody got to have hoes. But anyway,
yikes.
You got that, and then far as like where he got his, I guess, ideology from is Dr. Claude Anderson. Dr. Claude Anderson is really the one that came up. If you go look at some of his videos on YouTube, probably from like I would say from what I've seen, like the late 90s, early 2000s, he was telling our parents and his generation, like immigration, the erasure of black culture and everything is going to happen. He said by 2013.
Yeah.
And we would become a permanent underclass.
I have a question.
Mm.
Do you see how some of the politics of like a Tariq Nasheed or the FBA movement mirrors the same politics and bigotry of other demographics? Like this notion that but it's being directed towards Africans in a sense. Like this notion that other African immigrants are the ones to blame for black people not progressing in this country.
I wouldn't say it's just black immigrants. I would say immigrants all
in general.
Yeah.
But I feel like the attacks.
Look at what happened in California.
Africans.
I would agree.
No. I think y'all seeing it.
It aligns with the far right as far as their stance on immigration, and I think it came at the same time when Trump was pushing that whole, we got to take those immigrants back because they're taking our jobs. Now, I feel like on the black side, they're saying, well, the Africans are taking our jobs, taking our culture. We got to kick them out too. So I do think that there is.
I don't even think Africans live around black Americans like that.
Yes, we do.
We do.
And that's another
and that's
thing
what I think is like
maybe regionally. North Dallas, maybe. Because when I got to North Dallas,
but Dallas itself is very segregated.
It's very segregated.
When you go to Atlanta, Florida, all those people, we just live amongst each other.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that kind of like I do understand some of the points of like the delineation. Ooh, that's champagne.
Okay.
That's a word.
I do understand some of the points of like preserving culture, preserving Black American culture, especially when there's Pan-Africanism is rampant, and I think Pan-Africanism is a good thing. But I can understand like we still need to maintain our own individual cultures and then come and still come together.
Mm-hmm.
But it does seem like it's specifically an attack on Africans. Like I don't see anybody coming at the white immigrants the same way that the attack, like Christy, when we were talking about they're boycotting the African hair braiding shops.
But
it's
the
like, what is that going to do?
Korean hair shop.
The beauty supply stores are known are owned by all Asians.
I agree with y'all. I know. I just started hearing about this African braid shop. To me, I'm like, I don't know what they did to us.
What is that?
But if we're going to boycott, let's say we like Black Americans agree, like, hey, we're going to boycott the Africans. I would have came to the table like, okay, if we're going to do that, we need to boycott the hair industry, the seafood industry, all the minority industries that we consume of. We need to boycott them all. Yeah. So if we're going to boycott the Africans, you need to boycott the Koreans, everybody.
I really don't think that Africans are a threat to black culture at all. I'm sorry, Vida, go ahead.
I think it's putting us in such a position, even whenever we had the conversation about how like the beauty and just like how South Sudanese people are overrepresented in the modeling industry. I feel like people give too much. They're putting so much like that Africans have so much power We don't have the power. We're just got here to this country. We don't have the power that people are giving to us. I'm talking about where there's the conversation about how Africans are diluting the culture. We don't have that power. You know what I mean? And I feel like the way African Americans have been able to have culture in the history of this country, from the moment that they came to this country, to slavery, to create their own culture, to create all the music that we listen to now, the jazz, blues. I don't think that I don't think it's a real argument to say that we are taking away from
it's threatening because we don't own it. We don't own none of our culture.
But Africans don't own it either.
But can I say this though? I think I'm with Calvin on this.
Who owns Essence?
Because there is, I do think there's an immigrant privilege. A lot of people that comes here as immigrants. Conversation. No, but what African Americans are saying is that they have seen these minorities come here as minorities and they jumped the line. The Irish, when they came here, they was down with the black people and they jumped the line.
But Tyra, who's giving us that? Who's providing that privilege?
Who's the Italians, when they came in here, the same thing. Now the Chinese, they passed a law where they're now being labeled as white. So a lot of the Africans that are coming here, like when we come here as immigrants, we usually come with educational background as far as our parents, because they don't really push. Refugees is like in the lower bottom. So a lot of times when they see the Nigerians becoming doctors, they're seeing East Africans becoming this, and they're thinking, okay, y'all about to skip the line and skip everything that we have built for y'all.
And died
for y'all. And then they just see immigrants now Indians are skipped the line. They're basically are claiming they're white as well. So I do feel like there is that issue where they're thinking these people are coming in here and just skipping the line, and then they're just leaving us behind. So now you can like put that erasure, like, I'm not African American, I'm African.
It seems like Yvette Clarke or somebody be like, they in a position of power, and they'd be like, let's say reparations come up, and they'd be like, oh, we don't need reparations.
Yeah.
Who are you to talk for like, I would need some reparations? Your reparations when your family came over here to America. That's how I feel. You know, you left from where you was coming from for a better life. That was your reparations. We need our reparations now in our country. So I feel like you shouldn't be talking about.
There's another big point that I got to ask you, Calvin, because I feel like this is a lot of the fuel behind the hate, is that a lot of FBA people are saying that they are not descendants of Africans, that their people were already here on this land and they have no relation with Africans. The whole they're not like us. Right. Them just saying like, y'all don't look like us. We can tell an African right away. We're not African. Putting up a picture of African stew that's like, and saying it's slimy, and then comparing it to like a, Black American
that's
food.
Textbook xenophobe.
But I think a lot of
like, I think it's just jokes.
It's just getting
that could be, yeah.
But it's not just jokes, and I think that's the disconnect between the Black American and African like community, is that even down to when people say, oh, growing up, the bullying and everything, and everyone's just like, it's just jokes. But then the other side is like, no, I'm like, it's not funny to me. It really is like a disrespect to my culture, or, and then it's like the dismissiveness. That's where the disconnect is, because it's like, okay, this is our culture. It's just jokes. Even Michael Blackson, I don't know if y'all saw, he had a clip recently that's been circling when he was talking about how it was hard for him growing up in Philly and like what he went through as an African. And I'll add it into the episode.
Even back in Africa, like we didn't, in the 80s and 90s, they didn't care about name brand. They didn't know what it was. Poor people didn't know about that stuff. Now, with poor kids, how girls are attracted to poor kids is them wearing a new clothes. If you wear brand new clothes, girls are like, okay, you got new clothes. So I came to America. I'm going to school. My first day, I got on new clothes. I'm excited. I think I'm about to get some girls. I'm like, I got some new shit on. So I walk in school in my, with my in-action sneakers and dress pants and dress shirt, and the kids like, what the hell you got on, nigga? I'm like, what you talking about? This is brand new. Like America, I think the kids, it kind of remind me of Adam and Eve, when God's like, don't eat the apple because you're going to see things you're not supposed to see. And I think that's what happened, like, to Black American kids. Like, when I came here, a lot of things about myself I didn't know. And it reminded me, like, you have a gap teeth. I mean, Africa, we never, like, American kids see every little thing. I mean, don't get it wrong. All that stuff helped me today to make me the roaster that I am. Like, I'll light a nigga up. You know what I mean? But because I learned from them. Like, I didn't believe it or not, I say that all the time, and people don't, I didn't know I was dark skinned until I got here. in Africa.
They just strip. If you ask me, strip your innocence away.
They did.
Yeah.
This was my innocence, and they made me so self-conscious about everything.
But it
Tomorrow
was
you
just
sitting on the couch or something like
yes,
that.
it was just like literally what he was saying was what every African that grew up in America was
like you said, like most of the immigrants in Dallas. Let's just say
I
Dallas.
really want to address the African thing because I feel like that's a big part of it. Is do you specifically believe that there's? I understand like y'all are many generations removed, but literally removing the Africa in general and saying we are not African, we never came from Africa.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
That's what I'm having a hard time
I got a
wrapping
question.
my mind around.
Somebody from Jamaica, would you consider them African Jamaican or just Jamaican?
They're Jamaican, but they still would acknowledge the fact that
They're
they are
African.
descendants
I'm thinking.
of,
I think what's confusing everybody is the label African American, and that's what we're trying to get away from.
yeah.
Saying
And I
that
think, and I do think that the label is
confusing.
Confusing when you
Because-
say African.
It is.
Because I think like you should just call yourself American,
Black American,
with African descent, or Black American.
If you got a
Yeah.
color, this is how I
So
look
Jamaican
at it.
is just Jamaican. There's no African Jamaican.
If you got a color, before your American, you original. I would say. I won't say original, but you didn't. Well, I can't even say that because
Just say
white people immigrated here. We was the only one forced here.
Even Native Americans
I get what
immigrated
you're
here.
saying. I get.
Well, no,
I
and West
understand.
Africans was way over here before the Indians came. Like we got. I mean, look at the statues in Mexico and all that. Them fat ass noses. There ain't nobody over
we wanna
here.
go to conspiracy
another
theories.
term to specifically separate, I guess, foundational.
Yeah,
like,
so
Black Americans
y'all
from-
more African American than I am.
Yeah.
No, that's
what I was
facts.
gonna
That's
say.
See, I
what
got
I'm saying.
heated
There
when I
needs
say
to be
I'm
another-
African American.
Yeah,
we
I
need
get
to
that.
So like when people
not
be
put
like,
everybody in
and that's
the
why I
same
think where
box.
the confusion or the lostness be like, well, y'all ain't got no culture. You know what? Y'all African American. What part of Africa y'all from? It's like, you know what? We not
And
from a
see-
part. We got
So
taken
just
from
like Jamaicans and
different
Haitians
parts.
and everything, y'all
You
need
don't say
y'all
African
own-
Haitian.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't
I-
say-
that's
And
fair
I guess
point.
that's a
That's
part.
agreed.
I guess that's a part that
That's fair.
that does need to be.
Because you hear the
addressed.
African
Yes.
part, you thinking like, okay,
Yeah.
what part of Africa you
Right.
from?
Yeah.
That's
Because somebody
fair.
say, hey, I'm from Texas. I'm like, what part?
Yeah.
And I think that's the part that does need to be addressed is the idea that like there is no culture for blacks that are here, Black Americans.
there is
here in
culture.
America. And there is a culture. There is a culture.
And that's what we
Yes.
fight back on. Like,
Yes.
and then you can just look around the world. Our culture is imitated all around the
Yeah,
world.
and
so
that's
when you
true.
got someone coming from it, and no disrespect, but when you got somebody that, and it's anybody, brown, black, white, or whatever, they come from their country and then try to shit on Black Americans, like, oh, you ain't got no culture, blah blah. You're like, look what you got on.
But-
Look
So
what-
my question is, how can we be respectful? Because when we do, like, let's say, okay, you guys say that we should learn about y'all culture, put some respect on everything. When we do that, it's like it's a problem, and then when we don't do it, it's a problem too.
how is it a
So-
problem if y'all do it?
Because
Cause,
we had a clip that we posted recently when we were trying to learn about like the history and everything like that, and they were like, "This has nothing to do with you. Do not speak. Y'all are so obsessed with this. Do not speak
the
about."
internet, though.
But the internet are real
That's just
people.
the
Like
internet.
when we try to educate ourselves and be respectful and like you
And I
know
will
put
say-
in that work, it's like there's pushback, and then if we don't do it, then there's pushback. So how do we?
It's like just don't speak on it at all.
Well,
like don't.
well,
But it's like
it's just
I'm trying to figure out a way to
it's
be
an attitude,
respectful,
but it's an
but
attitude of two different generations. You know what I'm saying? Like the civil rights generation, are like
because I
Black
feel like our
American.
generation is trying, but then it's like
Definitely, if y'all generation was y'all parents' generation, Pan-Africanism would be global.
yeah.
It'd be big.
But
But
you
y'all don't
can't
have
even-
y'all don't
you
have
can't
Our
that
be
same
parents are
Black
experience.
and
saying
American,
crazy
not-
stuff about Black people.
You know what I'm saying? So y'all parents was coming straight from the continent. Y'all more Americanized than y'all parents. Can I say that?
Yeah, for sure.
So
we have more proximity to. We have more experience with
to,
Black
to
Americans.
us. So y'all
Yeah.
understand, y'all more like, well, no, mama, they not like that. My friends at school, blah blah. So like I said, if y'all generation was the first generation,
Yeah.
this I don't think none of this will be really happening. I think it'll be more of an understanding. But if you've been trying to do this for Pan-Africanism for like 40, 50 years, when is enough enough?
And
So I'm
going
confused.
based off,
It's like, do we stay away or be respectful and mindful, or stick to our own stuff? Like, what are
Stay.
what
I
are
would
they
say
looking
okay.
for?
I would say stay in your lane. Do what
Mhm.
you can do to help. Like okay, look, you play basketball. Y'all play basketball in high school.
Who play basketball?
Both of them.
First of all,
okay.
that tone, please don't even.
Let's
You
keep
yeah,
the main thing the main thing.
no,
They
yeah.
were hoopers. Christine was in that post.
Were they any good?
Yeah, they were on varsity
Not
for
too,
years.
not too much
We
on
don't
us.
gotta get into the
Not
details.
too much on us.
That's what I like to hear.
Yes,
Yeah.
but okay. y'all can still get them
So-
ones.
Oh, let him land.
Y'all can still get
No,
them
no, no.
ones.
It's so irritating.
So Christine, that's like, okay, Christine, were you ever allowed to bring the ball up the court?
Of course not.
Exactly.
Oh, you
Your ass
couldn't
need to be
do.
right in that post, right?
Yeah, that's not my.
Why not? 'Cause
position.
That's not
I
your
see what you're
position,
saying.
right?
Mhm.
That's the same thing.
Right.
In America, in America, Black Americans are like, I guess I would say, in just analogy, we the point guards. We
Point
bringing the
guard.
ball up the court.
Mm-hmm.
You all you got to do is know the play, set the picks, and we gonna score, and we
Right.
win as a team. So like, let me give you a perfect example of how y'all can help. Not just Africans, but just well, you know what, we're gonna just have
Well, you know we Africans
Everybody.
specifically.
Yeah, yeah.
like,
We're just gonna talk to
help
y'all.
us.
No, you can
Fuck
tell
everybody
us
else.
directly.
Help us.
Yeah.
Y'all should. I think y'all should be head over heels helping us trying to get reparations. So, like for example, in the early '90s, I feel like apartheid would still probably be in existence if it wasn't for Black Americans putting pressure on the American government to do something about what was happening in South Africa.
Africa.
So that's how Pan-Africanism worked. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to South Africa, man. They doing their thing out there. I can't pronounce the leader name that's out there pissing them white folks off, but keep doing it, big dog. I fucks with you. You just need to get a little line up. But other than that,
Oh, that's another thing. I was on our head on X about the lineup.
See,
But that's how you.
the
That's
wigs,
how,
the
but that's
wigs,
how you
That's how
can.
they could tell.
But
the
that's how you can
wigs,
tell.
They
That
be on our head
foreheads,
about the wigs too.
it just-
Young, famous, and
No,
African.
they was specifically
But you
on
gotta
our
think
heads
just
about the lineup,
the
edges.
DNA, like y'all
Your
are.
ways were crazy.
A lot of y'all are like 99% African. Some of us don't even have like 20% African because we have different genes in us. You got some Native American, you got some European, you got some
Ebony
African.
was on the show and she had 90% African heritage from Congo, or it was like mixed Congolese. And
But yeah,
like
it all depends on where your people from.
Right,
too.
right.
'Cause, like,
But
my
that's the
peop-
thing- but
my
that's the
people
thing we
from-
don't talk about though.
Yeah, my people from Texas, Louisiana.
Yeah.
And like if you look at my aunt, my great aunt, which is my mom aunt, she's probably like she'll pass as a white woman. But when she's come pick me up from school, they have to call mom and be like, "Who's this white lady come picking up this dark ass nigga?" You know, like no, they're like, "No, this my aunt." They're like, "No, that ain't your aunt, fool."
But I think a lot of that goes down to that immigrant privilege where if shit goes down here, we all have a country we can go back to.
We can't.
Black,
No, that's a real thing.
We do have immigrant privilege.
You can go back home
Because
if you don't like it here. You really can go back
If you
home.
go to LA right now, if you go to Koreatown, there's a Korean bank.
Mhm.
You go to Chinatown, there's a Chinese bank.
Italian.
In Houston, I believe there's a Nigerian bank, but I'm not 100% sure. If you go to New York, there is banks that are from these countries because they know the borrowers from those countries are better risk than the people back home. So when
They're gonna practice better group economics.
Yeah, and even if you're Muslim, you can get a loan from a bank as far as Islam where you don't have to pay interest. So there is that privilege as immigrants when we come here and we think we're doing better, but then we don't realize like as a collective, Black people are like top 10 as far as in the world as far as GDP. Just the Black people in America, their spending power is top 10 in the world.
We're the same
And then
size as Nigeria. Like if you put our numbers, I would say.
But there's 250 million Nigerians. That's like
in the country.
250 million, yeah.
I thought it was like
They said
40
like-
something
Nah,
million.
it's huge. People don't realize how big Nigeria is.
Populated. I'm not sure if it's the most populated
It's the most
country
popular
in Africa.
country in Africa.
Yeah.
This is only like 40
Yeah, the most black people in the world are in
Even
Nigeria.
here in America, every like one of every 8 black
Have you been to
people
Houston?
are
250 million,
Nigerian,
and this is why, and this is not me shitting on Nigerians or whatnot, but
Please
the
don't do
Nigerians that come here as they don't come here as refugees. These
Yeah, I
are prominent Nigerians that come here
Not all
because
of
the
them.
visa program. No, it's the way the visa program
You
is.
say most of them?
Okay, you brought that
The
up.
immigration is 4 tiers of immigration. Refugees and lottery are the bottom. You come here as an exceptional immigrant, meaning your parents
best of the best.
were somewhere in education. Like when I came here, my father was a law student in Cairo. That's the reason we came. Most of our fathers here, if you say your father or mother, they were in some type of education. They didn't
Like-
as far as the Lost Boys was kind of different. The Lost Boys came directly from the war and they came here as refugees. But for the most part, most people that come here as immigrants, they come with their parents are in higher education. So they do have that
For
privilege
example,
where now you can pass that down to your kids.
Kamala
And they
Harris'
push
parents was
forward.
here on the student visa.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
but-
saying?
I do want to add.
Yes,
I
please.
think when we do talk about this conversation, it's very generalized because even in him saying that, it's like, that's his experience. My parents were in the war and they were refugees in a refugee camp in Kenya and came to America. So, and we were born here. So that's why we got the opportunities to kind of like be first generation Americans and do things like that. But his perspective is different from mine.
I'm saying a percentage wise. I'm not saying just me. I'm just saying
yeah. But I'm saying I think that's a great segue into how we look at the very nuanced on how we look at the conversation of thinking like, okay, well, everybody's like this and that's how they think, or your parents, how you grew up, this is how they talked about XYZ. It's just very individualized,
and we have to be careful because not all immigrants have privilege. So
all immigrants have privilege.
I would say once you come over here, it's a privilege to not be where you from. Exactly. I won't say not where you from, but like
you can say that.
Yeah, okay. All right.
No, I mean,
I'm not trying to sound insensitive
I understand what you're saying
none
because
of that.
remember that episode that we did, the very first episode that we did about this kind of conversation, diaspora wars. We were talking about how a lot of like the organizations that brought us in to America and helped us out, like Catholic Charities or whatever you want to say. I don't want to say Catholic Charities.
I mean, most African immigrants voted for Trump.
Just like the lens that
is a privilege.
Lens that Africans are viewed in. A lot of times, there's like a lot of sympathy towards Africans, where it's like we need to help Africans, where other like African Americans may not have that same type of lens towards them, where they look at us as like we got to help them. There's like all these organizations,
charity
that help
case,
charity, exactly. And then
us, we just lazy and all that, but we weren't lazy when we was in their house,
and so I can understand,
feeding their babies and shit.
Yeah, so I can understand the lens that different groups are viewed in, but who's the one that is doing that? Who's in the control? It's not African.
Like, oh, if your countries are so great, then go back there. Why are y'all here? But so Africans come here for the same reason that all other immigrants migrate here. It's the American dream, the, wanting a better life, the opportunity. So, and when we come here, we do want to assimilate and we do view ourselves as Americans. And I think that when you say like, oh, okay, well, y'all go back home or whatever, I've seen that online. It's like, no, because I feel like I'm an American. I grew up here. That's all I know. So it's just, once again, trying to figure out, okay, where do we fit in? We want to be respectful, but it's like, come over here. It's like, nope, y'all not.
I got a question too about,
like,
I'm glad you said that, Christine. So like, when people say like, go back home or whatever, that's kind of, I don't want to.
Or deport them too. That's another thing. Yeah. With the whole
my thing is with that, I guess, and maybe it just might be the military in me. Mm-hmm. But when I see other people waving their home country flags, it ain't gonna lie, it do something to me because I feel like you set tripping. If you're gonna be American all the way. You need to be waving that American flag. No, I understand you proud of your culture.
And maybe our kids, like maybe that generation for sure will have that stance, but because like we're first generation, our parents just came.
Oh, you say y'all biracial?
No.
I mean binational.
No. Because I know y'all be taking shit too literal. Right. But what I'm saying is like, no, because I was having a conversation. Please, comments. Look,
calm down.
This is
you don't know them
theory.
for real, Jenny.
It's in theory. But I was saying like, going back to my example, both of my parents grew up in Uganda, born and raised there, came to America, and all of me and my siblings are all born on American soil.
Mm.
Yeah.
So we have never been back to Uganda. I don't know where where he grew up. I don't know none of that. But at the same time, growing up here, it's like, okay, well, I'm not African enough because I don't speak the language. I've never been back home, XYZ. But then also I'm not American enough because it's like, oh, well, you technically are African. So it's like, that's why I say it's similar to like a biracial individual because it's like, you're not white enough, you're not black enough. So even with these conversations, it's really hard because I'm like, well, I literally grew up here in America. Literally,
we just trying to figure out where to fit in.
But it's like, and then I also have this culture here where my parents and family or whatever, but it doesn't negate the fact that like this is also like two can exist at the same time.
And that's the thing. I feel like
we can hold
people
space
don't
for
like
both.
that.
People like us, like she said, we're not like we won't be accepted 100% if we go back to where
they're gonna be like,
and here we're not accepted 100% because we have that connection. And, so we're like lost in the middle of like just trying to grasp onto our identity.
Even the Olympics, like when South Sudan was playing USA, we were rooting for South Sudan.
I was rooting for the USA.
But then when South Sudan,
and that's fair. It could be.
I root for the winner.
And then when we were no longer a part of it, we got booted out. We were pro USA. LeBron USA, like so it's not as black and white. Like we are both, and like we're literally.
And
But
family,
then on the
we're
flip
proud
side, I
Texans.
could understand where Calvin's coming from because he's like, all we had was USA.
Yeah,
like we
that's
don't have
true.
another
Can
team
I
to like
push
root
back
for,
on-
which
on-
I
We can't,
can too.
because
And it's not about rooting. It's just really
like,
repping where you from and what you build.
I know. Okay, can I
I
push?
feel like I'm from Dallas.
Can I
Dallas is
push
my
back
hometown
on-
because
But my thing is,
Can I
why
push back on
cannot?
what Calvin
Why
said?
is
Go
it
ahead.
wrong to
Go
do
ahead,
both? Like,
Yeah,
why
that's
is
what I'm
it?
saying.
Why is it wrong to be like, yeah, we're team South Sudan, and then when South Sudan is no longer part of it, oh, we team LeBron, we team USA.
But
we
can I
team,
say
like,
this?
like, why is
Go
that
ahead,
wrong?
sorry.
Because coming from outside of Texas,
It is
Florida, Georgia, Virginia, I've never seen a state flag ever.
You say it again.
That's a
I've
great
never
point.
seen a
Yeah, that
state
is-
flag.
As Texans,
I've never seen
we're
a state
different.
flag when I
We're
grew up in
Texas before
Florida.
America.
I grew up in Georgia. I mean, I
You gonna
lived
see
in
that
Georgia. I
Confederate
lived
flag
in
before you see
Virginia.
that state flag.
Yeah, I've seen all of those.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a state flag in somebody's house until I came to Texas, where people.
Yes,
I feel like
we're
in
very
Texas,
proud Texans.
people
yes.
are Texans first and
Exactly.
then Americans
For
second.
sure.
Exactly.
Oh, I
For
tell
sure.
people that all the time, and you know,
sure.
being in the military,
So
anybody that
but
meets
I'm
somebody
saying,
from
so can
Texas,
you
they
see
hate
where she's
us.
coming
Well, I
from?
say
Yeah.
hate us.
Why do we have to choose?
And
You don't.
It's not a
just-
choose.
not-
It's what you stand on. Like, okay, for example,
So you can't stand on both. I think that's
No,
what we're
but
trying
I'm
to
saying
come
it's
from.
going against
like
what
we're
you
trying to
were saying.
stand
It's
on.
like you
Like,
was
We're
like
trying to
the
stand
people-
on both.
I'll do pick one.
where people are.
I'll
are
pick I'm
fi-
Texan before I'm American.
But this is the thing,
Okay.
though. But don't that goes against what you just said, where you say you come from a military background where you don't like seeing other people waving other countries' flags. If you're waving a Texans flag, that's technically speaking you're looking at as sedation. You're not, because in the military when we join the military we say the oath to the
United
American
States of
Constitution.
America. Mhm.
So we supposed to be waving the American flag. But when you just said, he's like, you will be Texas first.
well, in Texas,
That's different.
in
Texas-
elementary school,
Yeah, we have a pledge. We pledge allegiance to Texas.
That's
And
the
then
thing.
do a pledge allegiance to
So
America.
that's the issue. What I'm
Since-
trying to
No, I
Since
think that's
you go
two
to school,
totally
so
different
that's
things.
really a
That's
great-
I
more
think it's
that's
the
more
same.
statehood within the country.
Yeah.
That's like, okay,
There's a big
that's like
sedation.
that's like Nigerians saying like,
They're
I'm
not-
proud to be Igbo. I
No,
mean,
or
did
they
I say
say
that
no.
right?
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
African. I'm Nigerian. That's kind of
Right.
No, I'm
what-
saying like within, okay, like Black America. You got Black Americans, and then you got something like my fiance, her family Creole. That's like a sub
Mhm.
group within the Black American culture.
Like a tribe.
Yeah,
It's not a
Doesn't make it like, you know.
Not a
it's
African.
I wouldn't say another ethnic group, but like I got with the Nigerians, you got was it Igbo and
Yeah, that's their
Yoruba?
tribe.
Yeah.
I mean
Yoruba.
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 Nigerians
Oh,
gonna be
shit.
killing
We're not
it.
even Nigerian.
Ain't none of us
Actually, this is off record.
Oh, they gonna-
Yeah.
hey, y'all kill me. Hey, it is
They're
what
not-
it
they're
is.
not gonna do that.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
They're not gonna do
I got some
that.
shit I can say. Yeah.
We're trying to end the diaspora.
Hey, but I'm just saying, I can score. But anyway, that's how I look at it, right? In that aspect. And then I don't agree with either on both sides, like even from like with the FBA people saying the negative things about the Africans and the Africans saying about that. I feel like our relationship can be fixed sooner and quicker versus our Black Americans relationship with other immigrant groups, because y'all have that complexion for the protection with us. So if y'all get on code real quick, it wouldn't be no problem.
Well, what's getting on code?
Yeah.
No,
No, getting on code. My main thing with getting on code is helping us fight for reparations.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, because
I mean,
we don't all have to agree with one
No.
another, and that's
And just
the
because you
thing.
ain't gonna get the reparations, I think you should.
Can
still-
I ask?
So, I think this was a really good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like every single time we talk about these type of topics, we kind of scratch the surface. There's so much more we can get into. I want to get everybody's like short final thoughts. For me, I just want to say that I think we should give each other more grace, and I think all of the Black diaspora should practice grace towards one another. From my experience, I feel like we claw at, for example, shout out to Caroline Wanga. She may have not got everything perfect with the Essence Fest, but I don't think that she had bad intentions. And I think usually what happens is there would be white owners or other owners that are the head of these organizations, but nobody ever comes for them. But as soon as there's a Black person that's in charge, we feel so comfortable like tearing them down, or like, and there's criticism that could be given, but let's give grace, because they may have had a genuine goal and they may have not got it perfectly, but let's give each other grace. And I think that goes for the diaspora in general. I think Africans do that to other Africans. I think Black people, we just do that to each other. And that's just my final thought.
Yeah, I would just say I just hope to gain understanding. I hate the hate online. I don't think that that's progressive. And honestly, we look foolish in front of other groups because us fighting amongst ourselves and insulting each other, I don't think that it helps us. So I just really feel like the hate on both sides is just getting out of control recently, and I'm really concerned with like where this is going. I know it's online, but I feel like a little bit of it is spreading into real life as well. So I'm just concerned, and I really want to figure out how to be respectful and not to like step on culture and respect Black Americans and give them their own group, just like we give Haitians and Jamaicans and Sudanese and Nigerian and everything like that. I feel like that's a fair point. And if that's what it takes, then yes, I feel like we should put some respect and stay in our own lane. I just feel like the insults and the hate really should stop because it's not helping at all.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah, and I feel like you're very, like what you said, Christine, like that's literally how we all feel. Like we don't want to step on anyone's toes, or we're not being disrespectful. And I feel like when you're online, you see a lot of, like, even when I saw certain videos, I'm like, this is really nasty. Like, it's gross. Like, this is like scary, the level of bigotry, but I think it just mirrors the level of bigotry that's in this country. And it just sucks whenever it's coming from people that are also Black. But I just have to remind myself that it's online. I interact with African Americans every single day. I'm in community with African Americans, and that is not the reality. And so that's kind of what I say. I say to myself to like be like, okay, this is not my reality of this level of bigotry or hatred towards African people. I go to the Afrobeat spots with my African Americans friends, you know, stuff like that. So I just need to remind myself like, there's
so
this,
you're the one
and
who's
there's
bringing them there.
Shut up.
They want to go to that after hours.
So now they can't come. That's the problem.
Right, because the African place is the only one that
be open. Come on now. Everything closes at 2.
Hold on, y'all hanging out past 2?
Oh, for sure.
Not all
That's a
When
big
I-
cultural
You from
difference
Dallas?
right there.
Yeah.
No.
Africans,
I'm in the bed.
Oh, nah. You got to
No,
come
but
out
all
one
the
of these
African-
days. We leave the house at 2.
Yeah. So all those
Yeah,
I heard that's in y'all culture.
it's given
though.
5:30, 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why you said it like that?
No, I heard like
Like
y'all
it's like
party.
our
I heard
culture.
like y'all party like Mexicans.
Yeah, we party till
do.
9
That's
till
a fair
8 in
Y'all
the
party till the
morning.
next day.
We do.
Yeah, 8 in
Yes.
the morning.
Any
Wow.
final thoughts from you?
I just want to put out like I said, you know, I'm probably gonna get the label. Oh, he FBA and all that shit. Okay, yeah, culturally
We
I
love
am.
you, Calvin.
Oh,
don't let them talk bad about
you know, I don't
Don't let
let
them
no
bully you.
no.
Yeah, don't let them bully you. We love Calvin.
Where I'm from,
over
we
here.
bully bullies. You know what I'm
We know.
saying?
You the one who taught us.
He was the bully.
He was.
I was not the bully.
One of them.
I was the bully. Then I put my arm around you.
Oh, okay.
Right.
We love that.
Never mind.
We love
Continue,
that.
Calvin. Continue.
But anyway, it just the movement that people are seeing right now, and it's gonna be some good and gonna be some bad, but it's just I would call it another like reconstruction for Black Americans or another renaissance. It's just an awakening of who we are and not being disrespected, and not just only from Africans. And mainly my stuff, I feel like we can fix our problems in house very quickly, and it just having these discussions as well. But like for like the brown community, the other browns, everybody else, it's really y'all on your own. Y'all on your own, bro. We tired of being the doormat for everybody's success. Like we you know, the white folk didn't want y'all over here until we fall forward. Then you get over here and then you shit on us or whatnot. Not saying everybody, I want to say majority, some or most, whatever words y'all want to use.
It's okay.
Because you know, I could say some, and people are like, well, he said all that. Like, God damn.
You part of the podcast crew now.
Yeah.
You get it. Like,
They need to go to outer class and learn how to read again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Please teach the people in the comments.
Comprehend.
Let me file. I said outer. I'm tripping.
I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah. But that's all I got for it. Just if you're gonna migrate here, immigrate here. Just come respectful, especially among the people that open the door for you. That's all it is, man. Everybody can have a piece of the American dream, but when we Black Americans haven't even got to taste it. We ain't even got to get out in the room. We holding the door. We know.
Shut up, Tarek.
We can smell it. We can smell it. That's why we closing the door.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So we've been having the same problem even 100 years back. Like I said, Frederick Douglass, W. Du Bois, what's his name?
He's gonna be the reason they come after us.
But leaders, but they were just like, immigration was just bad for Black Americans. Because I'm gonna send you this video, Christine. It's this white guy with this company or organization, and Harvard just been exposed of bringing in Nigerians are hiring Nigerians so they won't have to hire Black Americans.
The H-1B1 visa.
Because they technically are black skin, but they just doing another way for immigration.
Immigration privilege.
So that could be it. We can do a whole topic on that if y'all want. I mean, I never heard about that, but
it just came. Well, you.
Yeah.
Oh no,
he hit it on the dot. H1B1.
H1B1 visas.
Yeah.
We can explore that. I got to do my research on that though.
Oh, it's happening on college campuses everywhere.
Okay.
And then can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
Sure.
Nah, I really do apologize in advance. But we gotta stop, especially at the HBCUs. We gotta stop hiring immigrant professors that can't speak a lick of English. If
y'all don't be giving our African
I agree
teachers
with that.
no grace.
Come on now.
No, and I'm getting on the boards.
I agree with
the
that.
people, the hiring boards. If you saw you was having a hard time in an interview, what you think your damn students is
But
gonna
what
have?
can you do about an accent, Calvin? Come
Calvin,
on,
You can't
gotta give some
comprehend.
grace.
You can't. That's not fair to us.
But you can take an Asian teacher with an accent, but you can't.
No. I can
He's
show
talking
you.
about in general.
I'm in general immigrants.
Okay.
But
I had a
okay.
teacher. I had a teacher, Miss Lowe, Dr. Lowe. She got to go.
You sound like a MAGA right now.
Nah, I sound like
I agree with them because they are.
Final thoughts on this side.
That's okay. We respect all
Final
opinions.
thoughts on this side.
Yeah.
On this side.
So,
yes, Miss Janet.
I'm gonna be the devil's advocate and spread love.
Yes,
guys.
Yeah, but like we really gotta like because we have
I'm
our
gonna just spread love and say that we are more alike than we are different. So we just need to find a commonality and stay there because we are all one. But go ahead,
Tarek. Final thoughts.
As an African American myself,
Oh, okay, literally.
I will say, I think part of it, the war that's going on online, I think is needed because lines need to be drawn, and some people do need to get a checkup, a wake up call. Like you can't just be disrespecting cultures, and that's both sides. But I think a lot of it is just it's a minority. It's just the loud minority who knows that this what gets clicks. Because I can assure you, when I go August 1st to an African braiding shop, there's going to be some people in there getting hair because the lines are now shorter.
I went there today.
And I don't think it's going to be a real boycott. I think that's just some online
But
bullshit.
I do give a shout out to the people who boycotted Target because I've not been at Target for like 3 months now, which is crazy.
Yeah, and I feel like
So
there's a bigger
that one I do
system to
think
fight.
worked. I do think that Target did work. So we need to find the next.
I feel like we should be fighting like systems that are actually exploiting us. And that's what we should.
I will
that's
tell you who be
goal.
exploiting us.
The Asian community.
These Arabs in the hookah lounges.
Okay. Anyway,
All right,
we gotta wrap this up. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of the Ladies Associate. I mean, you're not wrong. We just gotta go. But we really do appreciate it. Christine, any final thought? I think you did give it final thought.
No, I think that's
but
all.
The whole purpose of this conversation was to really build understanding amongst other people in the diaspora, the Black diaspora, the African American diaspora specifically, because Essence Fest was created for you, and y'all should have a space to air out your grievances. I guess our contribution to this is really just being maybe like a listening ear and also giving our own opinions. But I do agree that African Americans do deserve their own space to host their events, to platform their culture, without the intervention of Africans, even though we're all Africans, in my opinion. That's where the lines get tricky.
That's
but
why I keep saying African. Just say Black American.
Yeah, that's where
Because
the
like
lines
I
get
said,
tricky.
you are more African American than I am.
No, I mean, I don't agree with that.
Because your home country is from Africa.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. But I don't agree with that. But yeah, I feel you. I don't agree that I'm more African American than you.
DNA says you are.
Well, there you have it.
Hold on, this I know is gonna be a good episode because me and Tyra agreed for the first time.
Right, that's crazy. It's the most calm I've seen Tyreek in a whole episode.
Yeah. So, well, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Obviously, this is not something that we can sum up in one episode, but
As you
please
can tell.
share your comments. Let us know if you agree or disagree. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Bye.